This is Daniel in so many words. Hey there fellow Pokemon trainers, my name is Daniel and in so many words, my video about Sylveon, the newest Eeveelution, has stirred up a lot of debate and a lot of discussion about what its type could possibly be. And while I am really grateful for so many people coming to my channel to check out my theory, there's a couple of counterpoints that people have made in the comment section of that video that I'd like to address here, mainly stemming from when I said this. It doesn't have wings, so it's not a flying type unless we're being introduced to the Dumbo the elephant of Pokemon and those ribbons are somehow just suppressed wings. Now first of all, I think it's important that I clarify the reasoning behind my theory, because the points I made were mainly for aesthetic reasons. You see, what I've noticed over the years with the Eeveelutions is that they're designed pretty literally in relation to their type. For example, Vaporeon is blue with fins, Flareon is red with a yellow flame-like mane. I mean, hell, Leafeon is actually covered in leaves. Now that being said, if Sylveon's design had anything that more clearly indicated something like the air, clouds, the sky, etc., I'd be more on board with the flying type theory, but since it doesn't, I'm just not. And plus, some of the other more widely known flying types tend to be based off of birds, bats, or other such animals, which have wings, which allow them to achieve flight. Now, I know some people might find this reasoning a little bit far-fetched,
Far-fetched.
Look, I just said the word far-fetched, alright? I was not calling for you far-fetched.
Far-fetched.
Look, just because I say the word far-fetched in a video doesn't mean... You know what? Just get out of here, you walking gimmick Pokemon. Just get out. Get out.
Far-fetched.
But Daniel, if Eevee's already a normal type, why just make Sylveon a normal type too? Well, I think at this rate they're going to eventually do an Eeveelution for every single type, so here's the normal type one. But Eevee is brown and white. Why would it evolve from a brown and white Pokemon into a white and pink Pokemon and not change its type? While I do admit that it's pretty rare to see it, there are instances where a Pokemon has evolved and changed its color scheme or even its whole design without changing its type. Two examples that I can think of are Poliwhirl evolving into Politoed and Remoraid evolving into Octillery. Also, small tangent here. I think it's pretty amazing how much we Pokemon fans suspend our disbelief when playing these games, when it's perfectly reasonable that a fish evolves into a fucking octopus. Well, Skyla's the flying type gym leader, and Sylveon kinda looks like Skyla with those ribbons on its head. So, what up with that? I think that's just an honest coincidence, and it wouldn't be the first time that people have mistaken two characters for being related somehow. I mean, does anyone remember when Meryl was first leaked? Everyone thought that was a water-type evolution of Pikachu called Peekaboo, and we know now that that's not the case. Okay, but what about all the flying types that don't have wings? Now, this is the primary point I wanted to address in this video. There are a lot of Pokemon that are half-flying but don't have wings, but there are reasons for that, so I'd like to address some of the ones that were most often brought up. Rotom, who's Ghost Electric by default, becomes half-flying when he possesses an electric fan within the games, which kind of makes sense because it would have to take on a type that's in relation to whatever it's possessing, like when it becomes half-water when it possesses a washing machine, or half-grass when it possesses a lawnmower. Hoppip, Skiploom, and Jumpluff are all half-flying because they're based on the life cycle of a dandelion flower, whose seeds are known for blowing away in the wind because that's how they spread and grow their flowers. To that end, all three of these Pokemon in this family are so very light that they are able to blow away in the wind like the dandelion seed. Shaman's Skyform is also a pretty commonly referenced one. It doesn't have any literal wings on its body, but I think the protrusions coming from its head kind of resemble wings, so maybe it uses those to glide on air currents, if not genuinely fly. And finally, Gyarados. Gyarados is somehow a water and flying type Pokemon despite the fact that it learns no flying type moves except for bounce, and the fact that it has no ability to actually achieve flight that I'm aware of or have ever seen. So I guess the question now is, okay, if it can't fly and it doesn't learn any flying moves aside from bounce, why is it even a flying type? I have a theory about this also, but admittedly it's based on a bit of a hunch. If we look at Gyarados' actual design, it seems to be based on a sea serpent or a sea dragon of some kind, and it's partially based on the old legend of a cart jumping over the so-called Dragon Gate in order to transform into a dragon, which would explain its evolutionary line. However, this does kind of imply that Gyarados probably should have been a water and dragon type, and back in Generation 1, when it was introduced, that would have been a bit of a problem. You see, with a type combination like that, Gyarados would only be weak to one attack type, Dragon. And back in Generation 1, the only Dragon type attack was Dragon Rage. And therein lies the problem, because Dragon Rage, regardless of stats, regardless of stat changes, and regardless of type matchups, the all-important factor here, always deals exactly 40 damage. No more, no less, period. Therefore, for balancing purposes, I believe it was made water and flying instead, because if it had been water and dragon, it would have been literally impossible to get a super effective hit on a Gen 1 Gyarados. And with a base stat total of 540, I don't want to be staring down the barrel of a Gyarados I'm not going to be able to put a decent scratch on. Well guys, I think that about covers all the notable flying types that don't have wings. Whoa, 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 whoa. Doduo and Dodrio. Alright, I think you got me there. I have no fucking idea how they fly. Seriously, how do you fly? You're based on flightless birds like dodos and ostriches. How do you fly? A fucking child's wish? But anyway, folks, this has been a Tuesday vlog. We'll meet again on Saturday. But until then, insert catchphrase here.
Farfetch.
Oh my god, I did not even say Farfetch that time. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-